So in this video, I'm going to present you with the best way to stop overthinking. For most of my life, I've been an overthinker, somebody who just can't stop thinking. Whenever I had an exam, whenever I had something important, an important meeting or something the next day, what I would do is I would just keep thinking about it. I'd keep playing the 1,000 scenarios in my mind and it just wouldn't stop. And it bothered me so much that some nights I wouldn't even sleep. But there is one single thing that single-handedly deleted my overthinking. And that is what I'm going to tell you in this video. It's not just a magic potion, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of thinking, it's a way of being that allows you to overcome your mind. There's a quote that goes like this: nothing can destroy iron apart from its own rust. The same applies to man. Nothing can destroy man besides his own thoughts. You gotta realize your mind can either be your greatest enemy or your greatest weapon, and that is up to you. So the concept goes like this: whatever you resist ends up persisting. I realize this with myself. No matter how much I just try to stop thinking, the thoughts don't stop. The thoughts are just ongoing. In a 24-hour day, I'm pretty sure that your thoughts are just ongoing for 100% of the time. There's maybe maximum 5 minutes in the entire day where you have zero thoughts, where you're present. So the idea goes like this: stop thinking that overthinking is bad. Instead, think that overthinking is just imagination. You see, the reason it persists and the reason it bothers you so much as it bothered me is because I saw it as something bad. I was trying to, I saw these thoughts as negative thoughts, and because I saw them as negative, they became my enemy. And because these thoughts became my enemy, I try to push them away. I try to, get them out of my head. And because you fight that battle, you're basically fighting something that shouldn't even exist. You're fighting a battle in your head that shouldn't even be there. It's like a non-existent mental battle that a mental game that you play with yourself. It doesn't even exist. Overthinking doesn't even exist. It's just a story you tell yourself. Because you give it such a negative story and a bad reputation, that's why it becomes bad and that's why it persists. But the truth is this: overthinking doesn't even exist. It's just your imagination. You're just imagining. You're always gonna have thoughts. You just gotta be the observer. You just gotta detach from them and see them instead of seeing them and being them and thinking that they are you. Instead, you should detach and go one step further and think that and be able to see them from another view. As if the thoughts themselves are their own person and you're another person. Because the truth is, no matter how much you try to stop thinking, you just can't stop thinking. If I tell you right now, don't think of a pink elephant, the first thing that you're gonna do is think of a pink elephant. It just doesn't work. But instead, try this. Instead of trying not to think about something, try thinking of something else. Instead of not trying to do something, try doing something else. You're basically shifting your own awareness. So if I don't want you to think of a pink elephant, I'm not gonna tell you don't think of a pink elephant. Instead, I could say think of a slice of pizza. And then your mind goes to that slice of pizza and imagines it. And now you've forgotten about the pink elephant. Just the same way, you don't try to stop thinking. Instead, you try to focus on your senses and focus on what's in front of you. You try to be present. Instead of focusing on not thinking, focus on focusing. Focus on your breath. Focus on the way you feel, the way your body feels. When you shift your awareness to something else, it goes there and it leaves whatever it was on last behind. So drop the judgment that overthinking is bad and it's negative and these thoughts are bad for you and thoughts cause stress and overthinking causes stress, which is bad for your health. You gotta scratch that. Instead, replace this assumption with the idea that overthinking is not bad. It's just imagination. There is no such thing as overthinking. It's more like analyzing. It's more like planning and strategizing. If anything, it's a sign of intelligence, and if anything, you can use it to your advantage. If you're laying in bed at night and you can't sleep and you're overthinking and you're thinking that that overthinking is bad and you're like stressing about it, instead change the perspective. Instead, imagine that just being in bed, laying in bed with the lights closed is already rest. It's already sleep. And this overthinking in your head, just see it as dreaming. Imagine yourself already resting and dreaming and sleeping, because honestly there's no difference. It's pretty much the same thing. It's not the thing itself that's bad, it's the way we see the thing. It's the story we choose to tell ourselves about that thing, which makes it good or bad. So drop the idea that overthinking is bad. If anything, it's a good thing. If anything, it allows you to explore your imagination. So see it as that. See it as a good thing. See it as imagination. See it as planning. See it as strategizing your day, analyzing what happened. Or there is no difference between overthinking and thinking and planning. Removing this false and scary narrative is what removes the entire thing, There's only a problem because you think there's a problem. So when you give yourself the courage to understand that, maybe there's no problem at all, that is when the problem actually disappears. Not when you're trying to fight the problem and get rid of it because you think it's a problem. So overthinking disappears when you just stop seeing it as a bad thing. I'm Dan. I make self-improvement philosophy videos like these. If you like this video, subscribe and check out my ebook too in the description. And I'll see you in the next video. You got this, bro.